Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $quarter coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're exploring a quarter that holds not just monetary value, but a deep connection to American history, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial quarter. It's one of the most iconic coins ever released by the US Mint, but did you know that some of these quarters are worth far more than just 25 cents? Let's start with the basics. In 1975 and 1976, the US Mint produced special quarters to celebrate America's 200th birthday. Instead of the usual eagle reverse, these coins featured a bold new design, a colonial drummer standing tall, with a torch of victory surrounded by 13 stars. On the obverse, the date reads 1776 to 1976, marking 2 centuries of American independence. Now, here's where things get interesting. While hundreds of millions of these quarters were made for general circulation, not all were created equal. The US Mint also struck collector versions, including silver-clad coins. These special issues were not released for everyday use and are already more valuable today. But the real treasure lies in the errors and rarities that slipped through the cracks. Some of the most sought-after bicentennial quarters are those struck on the wrong metal planchet. Imagine a quarter accidentally struck on a dime or nickel blank. These rare mistakes create coins with unusual color, weight, and thickness, and they're incredibly valuable to collectors. Another major error to look for is the double die, where parts of the design, especially the date or drummer's details, appear doubled under magnification. If the doubling is bold and the coin is in mint condition, its value can skyrocket. Also worth noting are off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, and clipped planchets, where a section of the coin is literally missing. These dramatic errors are easy to spot and highly collectible. Condition plays a big role in value. Uncirculated coins with sharp detail and nowhere are far more desirable than circulated ones. Look for coins with strong luster, no scratches, and full strikes. Proof versions, especially silver proofs with mirror-like finishes, are also highly prized. Don't forget about mint marks. Quarters from the Denver Mint have a D, San Francisco coins have an S, and Philadelphia quarters usually have no mark. Silver and proof varieties almost always come from San Francisco and can be worth much more than face value. So next time you come across a bicentennial quarter, don't toss it aside. Check for unique features, unusual weight, odd coloring, or striking errors. What looks like pocket change might actually be a hidden treasure. Now for the big reveal. A rare bicentennial quarter with a major error or struck in silver in pristine condition has sold at auction and in private markets for as much as $7,000. Top 2. We're zooming in on a classic American coin that might just be sitting quietly in your pocket or collection. The 1966 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, the 1966 quarter looks pretty ordinary. After all, it's a part of the Washington Quarter series, which most people recognize instantly with George Washington's profile on the front. But for the sharp-eyed collectors and coin enthusiasts, this coin holds some interesting secrets and potential value that you absolutely need to know about. So sit tight, pay close attention, and enjoy this deep dive into one of the most intriguing quarters from the 1960s. Let's start with some background. The 1966 quarter was minted during a transitional period in U.S. coinage history. This was right after the Coinage Act of 1965, which removed silver from quarters and dimes due to rising silver prices. So unlike quarters minted before 1965, the 1966 quarters are made from a copper-nickel-clad composition. This alone makes them special, marking the end of an era of silver coinage and the beginning of something new. Now, if you're wondering about rarity, the 1966 quarter isn't exactly a low-mintage coin. Millions were produced across Philadelphia and Denver mints, making it fairly common. But here's where it gets interesting for collectors. While most 1966 quarters are abundant, certain varieties and minting errors can make specific coins highly sought after, and potentially valuable. One of the most talked about variations for the 1966 quarter is the double die error. This happens when the coin's design is stamped twice with slight misalignment, creating a doubled image that's especially visible on the lettering and date. Double die coins are a collector's dream because they're unusual and visually striking. While not every 1966 quarter shows this error, finding one that does can instantly elevate its worth. Another notable feature to watch for is die cracks and die breaks. These are small fissures or breaks in the metal die used to strike the coin, resulting in raised lines or blobs on the coin's surface. These imperfections might seem like flaws, but to collectors, they add character and rarity. Some 1966 quarters with prominent die cracks have fetched impressive prices at auction. Then there are also minting errors like off-center strikes, where the coin's design is not perfectly aligned with the edges. This can give the quarter a unique and often bizarre look, sometimes only partially showing George Washington's face or parts of the eagle on the reverse. These errors are highly prized and can be worth significantly more than face value. So, what about condition? For any coin, condition plays a massive role in value, and the 1966 quarter is no exception. Coins in pristine, uncirculated condition, especially those graded MS-65 or higher by professional graders, can command higher prices. Many collectors aim for coins with strong luster, sharp details, and minimal wear. It's important to note that while many 1966 quarters are common and worth just face value, the truly rare versions with error varieties and exceptional condition have made headlines among collectors and investors alike. Now, let's talk numbers, the real market price and auction values that make this coin exciting for collectors. Standard circulated 1966 quarters generally hold a modest value, usually around 25 cents to a couple of dollars, depending on condition. But if you come across a double die error or a coin with a major minting mistake, values can jump dramatically. At recent auctions, 1966 quarters with clear double die doubling or significant die cracks have sold anywhere from $50 to several $100. Some rare off-center strike errors or exceptional mint state specimens have even crossed the $1,000 mark. This means with a bit of luck and a keen eye, what looks like a simple pocket quarter could actually be a hidden gem. To wrap it up, the 1966 United States quarter dollar is a fascinating coin that bridges an important era in American coinage history. While common in everyday circulation, its rarity lies in the error varieties and flawless examples treasured by collectors. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or just starting your coin journey, keep an eye out for these special details. So next time you find a 1966 quarter, take a moment to inspect it closely. You might just be holding a small piece of history with a value that's way more than face value. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more exciting coin stories and collector tips. And tell us in the comments, have you ever found a rare coin that surprised you? We'd love to hear your stories. Top 3, we're looking at a coin that millions of people have used without ever knowing its hidden value, the 1994 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, it's just another coin tossed in a jar. But under the right conditions, and with the right features, this coin could be worth far more than you ever expected. Let's break it down. The 1994 quarter features the iconic portrait of George Washington on the obverse, originally designed by John Flanagan, and the majestic eagle on the reverse, clutching arrows and olive branches in its talons. This was part of the standard design used from 1932 until the start of the 50-state quarter series in 1999. So while the 1994 quarter may seem common, some very specific details can make it extremely valuable. The U.S. Mint struck these quarters at the Philadelphia and Denver mints. You'll know which mint yours came from by checking the small letter to the right of Washington's ponytail, P for Philadelphia and D for Denver. But not all of these quarters were struck perfectly. Some came out with rare and fascinating mint errors that have become incredibly valuable in the collector's market. One of the most sought-after types is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin blank isn't properly aligned during minting, leaving part of the design missing. If the coin is dramatically off-center and still shows the full date, it can be worth hundreds, or more. Another valuable error is the double die, where the design appears to be duplicated due to a misaligned hub during the die-making process. On the 1994 quarter, doubling may appear on the words, "Liberty, in God We Trust," or the date itself. Strong doubling in good condition makes for a high-value piece. Then there are planchet errors, like coins struck on blanks meant for nickels, dimes, or foreign coins. These are easy to miss because they may look just a little too light or too small. But to collectors, these oddities are incredibly exciting, and very valuable. You should also look out for clipped planchets, where a chunk of the coin is missing, almost like it was bitten off. Combine that with good condition, and you've got a rare coin collectors would love to get their hands on. Now let's talk condition. A worn 1994 quarter probably isn't worth more than face value, but if you find one in uncirculated or mint state, the value jumps significantly. These coins have sharp details, bright luster, and no scratches. And if you find one with both excellent condition and a dramatic mint error, that's when the serious money comes in. So don't overlook your change. Check those quarter rolls, dig through your coin jar, and examine your old pocket change carefully. The 1994 quarter might seem like just another coin, but it could be hiding in plain sight, waiting to be discovered. And now, here's the best part. A 1994 Washington quarter with a rare mint error, such as a dramatic off-center strike or struck on the wrong planchet, and preserved in near-perfect condition, has sold at auction and in private sales for as much as $5,000. Top 4, we're diving deep into a quarter that might be hiding some serious value in your change jar, the 1983 United States quarter dollar. At first glance, this coin looks pretty ordinary, right? But trust me, if you know what to look for, the 1983 quarter could surprise you with its rarity and potential worth. Let's start with a little background. The 1983 quarter features the classic design introduced in 1932, George Washington's profile on the front, created by John Flanagan, and the iconic eagle with outstretched wings clutching arrows and olive branches on the back. This design was used before the State Quarter series launched in 1999. Millions of these coins were minted in 1983 at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making the coin common in circulation. However, despite its large mintage, some versions of the 1983 quarter have become sought-after collectibles due to unique errors and varieties. Now, here's what every collector should listen to carefully. One of the most exciting aspects of the 1983 quarter is the presence of mint errors. These errors are not just accidental flaws, they're rare, unusual features that make a coin stand out and often increase its value exponentially. The first type to keep your eyes peeled for is the double die error. This occurs during the minting process when the coin die strikes twice slightly off register, causing certain details like the date, lettering, or design features to appear doubled. If you see a pronounced doubling on the 1983 quarter's date or the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," you might be holding a valuable treasure. Another rare and exciting error is the off-center strike. This happens when the coin isn't properly aligned in the press, resulting in an incomplete design with part of the image cut off. Off-center strikes vary in severity. The more off-center and the clearer the date, the more valuable the coin becomes. Some collectors pay big premiums for these dramatic misstrikes, especially when combined with good condition. You'll also want to watch out for the wrong planchet errors, a particularly rare mistake where a quarter is struck on a blank meant for a different coin, like a dime or nickel planchet. This results in a coin that looks a little off in size, color, or weight and is a true prize for error collectors. Then, there are clipped planchets, coins that appear to have a bite taken out of them due to errors in the blanking process. These clipped coins, especially when paired with sharp detail and good condition, are very popular among collectors. Speaking of condition, it's crucial. Most circulated 1983 quarters are worth just face value. But if you have an uncirculated coin, one with no wear, sharp details, and a bright original luster, you're already on the right track to something special. Condition combined with any significant error can push the coin's value well above the ordinary. Let's not forget mint marks. Quarters minted in Denver carry a D. Philadelphia coins from 1983 typically have no mint mark, and rare specimens with proof finishes or special mint sets from San Francisco will have an S. These proof coins and mint sets tend to have higher collector value, especially when flawless. For collectors and treasure hunters alike, the 1983 quarter offers an exciting blend of history, rarity, and potential profit. Whether you're digging through old coin rolls or inspecting your loose change, make sure to check these coins closely. Now, here's the moment you've been waiting for. A 1983 United States quarter dollar with a significant mint error, such as a bold double die, an extreme off-center strike, or struck on a wrong planchet, and preserved in excellent condition has sold at auction and in private markets for as much as $3,000. So, if you're holding a 1983 quarter that looks a little different or stands out in any way, keep it safe, get it evaluated, and you might just have a hidden treasure in your hands. Top 5, and last coin, we're zooming in on a quarter that may have slipped right through your fingers, the 1988 United States quarter dollar. To most people, it's just another coin spinning around in their pocket or coin jar. But if you listen closely, this humble 1988 quarter could tell a story of rarity, minting errors, and surprising value that any coin collector would love to hear. First, let's rewind a bit and understand the coin itself. The 1988 quarter carries the classic Washington portrait on the front, a design that's been around since 1932, showing George Washington facing left, with "Liberty, in God we trust," and the date boldly stamped. On the reverse side, the traditional eagle with outstretched wings clutches arrows and olive branches, a symbol of peace and strength. This iconic design remained in circulation until the launch of the state quarters program in 1999. Now, while millions of these 1988 quarters were minted in Philadelphia and Denver, making them seem pretty ordinary, the real magic lies in the details, and sometimes, the mistakes point. One of the most fascinating aspects to collectors is mint errors. These unintentional quirks during the minting process can turn a standard coin into a valuable collector's piece overnight. For the 1988 quarter, one standout error is the double die. This happens when the coin's design is impressed twice on the die, slightly offset, causing some of the lettering or numbers to look doubled. On a 1988 quarter, doubling might show up in the date, "Liberty," or "In God We Trust." Strong, clear doubling makes the coin rare and highly sought after. Another prized error to look out for is the off-center strike. This occurs when the coin blank slips out of position before striking, leaving part of the design cut off. The more dramatic the off-center strike, the more valuable the coin, especially if the date remains legible. Keep an eye out for clipped planchets too, coins that look like a bite was taken out of their edge due to an error in the blanking process. These are often rare and popular among collectors, particularly when paired with a well-struck design. The 1988 quarter also has some fascinating wrong planchet errors, where the coin was struck on a blank intended for another coin type, like a dime or nickel. These can be tricky to spot but are prized for their uniqueness. Condition is everything in coin collecting. While most circulated 1988 quarters hold just face value, an uncirculated coin with crisp detail and original luster can fetch a significantly higher price. Add an error into the mix, and you have a recipe for a collector's dream. Mint marks are another clue. Quarters from Denver have a D mint mark, Philadelphia coins usually don't carry a mark, and special proof versions from San Francisco, marked with an S, tend to be highly collectible, especially if flawless. So, if you stumble upon a 1988 quarter that looks unusual or stands out in any way, hold onto it and consider getting it examined by a professional. What seems like everyday change could be hiding something extraordinary. And now for the exciting finale. A 1988 United States quarter dollar featuring a bold mint error, whether it's a dramatic double die, a striking off-center strike, or a rare wrong planchet, and preserved in pristine condition has sold at auction and in private markets for as much as $2,500. So remember, the coins jingling in your pocket might just be waiting to reveal their hidden worth. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed this dive into coin collecting mysteries, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss out on rare coin discoveries. Until next time, happy hunting and keep those coins shining.